Hey guys, welcome. Today we're going to be building a nice little house in a custom living tree. Let's continue. Alright, for today's build, it'll be called the Guide's Treehouse. I know, pretty original name. I started with the basic idea of a treehouse, and I tried focusing on more of a modern, somewhat backwoods, off-the-grid style, and it's mostly intended to be decorative or used as NPC housing. And the building time was roughly 4 hours total. I've done a few tree houses in the past, and they're definitely something that I really love doing. I've had a lot of people request them, and I gotta say this one is definitely my favorite so far. I've always had a pretty rough time trying to do tree houses in Terraria. It's kind of weird mixing the 2D effect. It's hard to get that down, but I really liked how this one came out. When I was building it, I was kind of getting some nostalgic vibes from it. I used to do a lot of playthroughs and definitely a lot of bases. A lot of them ended up being bases in tree houses, so doing this one kind of brought back those memories, and when I was building it, it kind of ended up how I'd imagined some sort of starting base, and I think that's one reason why I really liked how it came out. Mods and stuff I'll be using for building and recording. I'll be using Cheat Sheet and Heroes Mod. Heroes Mod is mainly used for recording, Cheat Sheet for building, both of which are available on T-Modloader, and finally T-Edit to add different details and stuff that I do off camera. If you are new to the channel, thank you very much for being here. I would greatly appreciate it if you'd consider checking out some of my other content, possibly consider subscribing. I do a lot of Terraria videos and some other fun one-off videos. Recently, I did a collaboration with Khaios. That was really fun, and I definitely recommend checking it out. Regardless, I do appreciate you guys being here, and I just hope you enjoy this video, if that ends up being the only one you see. Man, that sounded ominous. Okay, it's building time. Are you guys ready for some top-notch commentary? Because this is going to be fun. I know normally I kind of just do a little bit of chit-chat, talk about what was going through my head during the time of building. Today, I'm going to try and focus on talking about more so what I was doing while building, so like the blocks I'm using and stuff. Right now, I'm trying to get some basic groundwork done, and with that, I'm taking the living rich mahogany wand and using that to make the branches, but mostly to make the thinner branches. When I get on to doing the thicker branches, I like to fill in some space with just the living wood wand because I think it makes it look kind of stronger. Then I go on to adding the leaves, which was a bit difficult because I wanted to get the house in a good position, but the leaves itself was pretty easy. It's pretty fun. I'm really familiar with doing trees. What I like to do a lot is use the rich mahogany living wand and then use the living leaf wand, because then the two don't blend, or they don't stick together or blend or whatever, and I think it looks nicer. I think in a way, it kind of blends better by having it not blend. For the house, what I did is I used brown painted spooky wood, and then gray painted mudstone for the main blocks, and then tried using hay, and I tried painting the hay because it looked better. I changed that up a bit later on. The chimney was just kind of a special touch. I know I ended up changing that later. I wanted to make it bigger, which I'm glad I did. It fits better, even though I still really like how the little tiny house looked. And for the rest of the tree, I'm kind of just touching it up using the leaf wall to fill in some gaps, make it look more lively. I needed to remember to make some background branches so it's obvious that those branches right there aren't floating, and just did some touch-ups like that. I moved on to doing the pond and the rest of the general decor. The pond, I wanted to use a fountain because normally the regular water in the forest biome looks fine, but for this one, I wanted to do something a bit different, something that would stand out a bit more. I think this looks a bit more like it'd be clearer, what I ended up going with, and I like that. I used the jungle fountain. I really like the water in the jungle fountain. I'm not sure if maybe I'm just too used to the water in the forest biome, but I like trying to switch that up every now and then. For the bridge, I was really trying to do something like a farmer's overhead bridge, but I didn't like how that came out, and I ended up changing that up. And as we get on to pretty much the end of the build, I finished up a lot, and basically from here on out, I'm changing things, adding detail, touching it up, kind of taking what I have right now, which I don't think looks that great, and making it pop and stand out, which I really liked in the end. I think it turned out really good. This isn't my favorite build by any means, but it is my favorite treehouse that I've done. Granted, I eventually want to go all out and do an insane treehouse, but I haven't done that quite yet. For the wall in the house, I want to mention I'm using deep sky blue paint over, I can't remember the wall exactly. I think it might be, it's one of the wallpapers you buy from the painter, I know that much. And then as we move on, basically done. Right now I'm just changing some things up, trying to take what I had originally as an idea, and I'm replacing basically some of the wood platforms, which was like a placeholder, because I wanted to make it look man-made. I wanted to make it look a bit less fantasy, because I definitely went down that road. And here we have it, the guide's treehouse. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate all of your guys' support recently. I definitely had a fun time working on this build. It was a nice project, something that I'm very familiar with. I would absolutely love to hear what your favorite part of this video was, and any suggestions you guys have got for future videos. This has been a great project, and I really hope you guys liked it. Thanks for watching, stay upbeat and stay inspired. I will see you all next time. Peace.